When you are calculating descriptive statistics in your homework or whatever else you're doing, you are able to calculate those statistics using technology. You could use Minitab or Excel or StatCrunch or any other form of technology. You can even use online programs. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use Excel because that is a readily available program that most people already have on their computers. And right now I have my StatLab open, and I have one of the problems that is similar to what you should have on your homework in my StatLab. And that problem is the ages in years of a random sample of shoppers at a gaming store are shown. Determine the range, mean, variance, and standard deviation of the sample data set. Now this is a relatively small data set, so manually calculating these values probably wouldn't be too much trouble. But if it were a larger data set, it could be quite cumbersome, and there would be a good bit of room for error. So using technology really makes sense when you would have a larger data set. So let me show you how to use Excel to get this done. This little box right here gives you the option to copy the data, so you don't even need to manually enter it into Excel. However, if you wanted to manually enter it, you would just enter it into each cell, just as you would any other data into Excel, just as you would just enter it one at a time and click enter after you enter in each number. But to copy it, you would just single click on that, and then you would come down and highlight the option that you want. And since we want to open it in Excel, that's what I'm going to click. So I'm going to click open in Excel, and you only need to click it one time. You don't need to double click there. And open with Excel, and I'm assuming you would get this box on your computer too. And I'm going to click OK. Now see how it opened up over here. I already had Excel open, so it just opened up a new worksheet for me. Now notice that you have each one of these pieces of data over here in the first column. It just opened those up and put them into Excel. Now if you come over, it's going to open up in the Home tab up here across the top. Hopefully you have all of these same tabs that I have across the top. You should have Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, and all of those. You may not have Developer and Add-ins, but you should have all of these basic tabs. If you come over to the Data tab, you hopefully have one called Data Analysis. If you don't, you can go to the Microsoft Office website, and I believe that's an add-in that you can just download and add to your Excel. If you don't have it, you can email me and I can help you find it, and you can just add it in to your Excel package. So you click on Data Analysis, and you are going to find the Descriptive Statistics option, which I already have it highlighted, but I don't think it's the default highlighted item. I was already playing around with it, so it was highlighted on mine. But you would highlight Descriptive Statistics because that's what we want. Click OK. Now, that came up in the default, which it won't do. It'll come up blank. It wants to know where our input is, so you click on this right here, and it's still blank. So what you do is you come over and you click on the column that holds your data. And notice how it says the column A. It starts in column A and it ends in column A. So that's where your data is. And then you click over here again, and that reopens our dialog box. Now it wants to know, where do you want me to put this information when I spit it back out at you? Where do you want to see all of these descriptive statistics? Do you want it in a new worksheet, or do you want it just right here on this same page? Well, I don't really want it in a new worksheet because I don't want to have to toggle back and forth. I'd like to kind of have it over here beside of my data. So I'm going to tell it to put it right on a new column. So I'm going to tell it that I want it on another column, and I'm just going to tell it to put it on column D right there. And then I'm going to open that back up. I'm going to tell it that I want summary statistics, so you should check that. And then there's really nothing else that we need to check right now. Later on we'll learn to use some of these other functions. And then I'm going to click OK. And there they are. There are all of your descriptive statistics that you may need for this problem. So let's just say I was working this problem and I needed the range. I would look over here and I would see that my range was 11. And I would enter that in. And let's check that and see if we're right. Oh, yay, we got it right. Okay, and the mean, and let's see, it asks for rounded to the nearest tenth, and it's already rounded for us, so we're going to put 16.9, and let's check that. Again, we're right. And the variance, let's see, the sample variance is 11.4, but it wants to the 100th. Be sure you give it to the 100th or it will mark you wrong. 11.43. And let's check that. Again, we are correct, and the standard deviation is given as 3.38, but that wants it to the 10th, so let's put 3.4. And let's see if that's right. Yay, we're right. Okay, so we can go on to the next question. Okay, so that's how you would use Excel to find all of these values for you. Now let me just give you one thing of warning. For some reason, Excel tends to mess up the mode. I'm not quite sure why. You would think it could get it right, but it doesn't always get the mode right. Like in this case, I believe there are two modes. Looks to me like we have 17 and 18. Let's see, let's sort this one. We want to sort column A. Makes it a little easier to see. 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we actually have three modes on this one. We have 15, 17, and 18. But see, it only told us that 18 was the mode on that one. So don't count on Excel for your mode. You're going to have to look at that one for you're going to have to figure out your own mode. So I wish Excel did our mode, but it doesn't. So, but at least it does the hard stuff for us. It does the variance and the standard deviation and the mean. So that's how we do that. Let me know if you have any questions.